Like, the first movie I ever saw was The Little Mermaid, and I started learning. That's how I learned English.
You're the first in your family to go to college in the United States.
I am. I'm the first one.
How does that feel?
It feels amazing because, your parents give you these opportunities, but it's up to you to actually take advantage of those opportunities. And my mom definitely was a big influence on that because she made this dream come true for both of us. And for me to be able to be here today is amazing.
Has your journey always been amazing, or have you had some struggles along the way?
Oh, I've definitely had some struggles. For example, my first language was Spanish, so it was hard for me to not necessarily learn the language, but just to adapt because I had already started school in Nicaragua. So I was actually ahead. And so when I came here, it was just like a complete culture shock. I was, I think, 5.5 going on 6 years old. So my mom used to be a babysitter at first, and she had this little girl that she used to take care of. Her name was Amanda, and she was so cute. I remember vividly the first day that I saw her. She was wearing her whole room was princess. Everything was pink, and I was just sitting there like, what is happening? Who is this little girl? She was super animated and just hi, this is my stuff. And the first movie I ever saw was The Little Mermaid, and I started learning. That's how I learned English. Literally, I watched The Little Mermaid over and over and over and over and over and over again until I was picking up words.
Wow.
And it was really cool.
That's
but
amazing.
It was definitely hard. I did get bullied because I dressed differently and I looked differently and I didn't speak the language really well. But, I adapted and I found friends that helped me. So I kind of notice, even to this day, I'm a little bit different, and sometimes the language is a little bit hard for me, even though a lot of people are like, oh my God, I didn't even know that you spoke Spanish or anything because you don't have an accent.
I've listened to your Spanish. It's impressive.
Yeah. And I'm impressed with myself because I'm like, wow, I don't even practice it as much as I used to because I don't live at home anymore, but I still retain a lot of it,
Right.
And, I find that amazing. But yeah, just to go back to what you said, if it's always been amazing. It hasn't. It's been definitely a tough journey, but I feel like I've had a really great support system, so it's made things a lot easier.
Walk me through your parents or grandparents. I know your grandparents have a huge influence on your life. Mm-hmm. Walk me through their mentality when you told them you were going to go back to school or to college.
My grandma is a big influence on me because she's one of the smartest persons I know. She has a bachelor's, a master's, a PhD. She was a professor at university. She was a teacher in high school. So
all of this outside of the U.S.
Out of the U.S., yeah. Yes. And she was born in 1939. And during that time, women weren't that strong. They didn't have as many opportunities as we have now. So for me to see all the amazing things that she did during her time, that's such an inspiration because it's she created those opportunities for herself. Her first marriage was her husband was abusive, and she was able to be strong enough to get out of that relationship. And when she met my grandfather, he was supportive of her too. He hired maids and stuff to help her because she was a full-time teacher, mm-hmm. and she had 5 kids.
Wow.
So she definitely was a great influence on me because I'm like, wow, she did all that during such a terrible time, during time of war, with kids and a family and an educated person, all those things. I'm like, wow, mm-hmm. If she could do it during that time, I can definitely do it.
Yeah. So I know that you took time off right after high school. So in high school, was college right after high school an option for you?
I actually did go right after high school. I took, fun classes. I took a dance class. I took jazz. I took French, just because I really didn't know what it was. And for my family, they didn't go to school here in the U.S. So
it was different.
It was completely different, and I didn't really, I don't know, I was just in La La Land still. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just I know I have to go to school because that's what I've been told my whole life. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, I'll go to school. And then I realized I was like, I don't want to go to school. I was like, I just want to work. And I kept telling my mom that. I was like, I want to work, I want to work, I want to work. And my mom's like, no, don't work. She's like, just go to school full time, you know. And I'm like, no, but I want to make money and I want to do this. And I didn't really understand the importance of school.
Yeah.
So I decided to move out and, you know, start my journey. I know it was going to be hard, but, you know, I'm a dreamer and I love adventure. So I'm like, oh, let's just do it. You know how
There are actually some pretty exciting things you did during that time off between high school and
I did.
taking school full time.
I did a lot of things. So I took some time off. I started working full time. And then that's when I realized, you know, this is not for me. The corporate world is not for me. If I want more options, I have to go to school. So I'm kind of happy I took that time off to just work and just to kind of find myself and to see what I wanted to do. My mom was very upset about that. She was like, no, you need to go to school, 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 school. But it's like, if you don't understand it yourself, you know, and it's not on somebody else's time or somebody else's money, you know, it's on your own. I did it on my own. So I was like, okay, I really want to do this.
When I met you at Mount San Antonio College, our community college, you already were working as a reporter for a magazine.
Yes. So I started out, I love adventures and I love trying new things. And when someone's like, hey, you want to do this? I'm like, okay, let's do it. Sign me up. So I'm always up for, you know, something fun. I like to be challenged. And I think that's what motivates me. And that's why I like this industry, because it takes me out of my comfort zone. I'm a really shy person, and a lot of people don't know that. They're like, no, you're not shy at all. And I'm like, yes, I really am shy. But there's something about a challenge and something that takes me out of my comfort zone that just brings me to life. You know, people,
Absolutely.
you know, when you put a camera on me or you put me like in a really, you know, awkward situation, that's when I shine. For some reason, I don't know why, but I really love it. Like, that just makes me feel alive. It makes me feel like I have a purpose. It makes me feel like, you know, like I'm like, okay, this is my element, like, you know?
And I think that's a perfect dynamic for Cal Poly Pomona, where we have students from all sorts of backgrounds that come together, and you get to meet these amazing people.
Exactly.
So you transferred from Mount Sac to Cal Poly.
Yes.
And let's hear about Cal Poly.
Okay, so I got 2 degrees from Mount Sac. I got a degree in communications and also a degree in journalism, which I'm really grateful for because it was like towards the end of my career at Mount Sac. But that definitely set me to come here, because I feel like if I hadn't done that degree, then it would have been that much harder here. But I got like hands-on experience there that really, really helped me. My journey was long, and I never thought that I would make it to, you know, Cal Poly, but I did, and I'm here, and I'm almost graduating. It was definitely challenging, but I see myself here today, and I love this school. I love the diversity. I love that we're hands-on and you really, really work. And I like that, because when you go out in the real world, you'll actually be ready for what you have to do.
What advice do you have for students who took time off? Like, do you recommend that, or do you think that your journey was unique?
I definitely recommend it, because I'm not the only one that I've seen be successful with taking some time off. Just make sure you do it on your own time and your own time. You know what I mean? So I understand your parents sometimes, you know, they've lived life, so they understand that school is really important. But sometimes, you know, we don't. Sometimes you have to do it on, you know, yourself. So I decided to move out, get a job, and, you know, find myself.
You had some resistance there as well when you moved out.
Oh yeah, I did.
How old were you?
I was 24. I wasn't that young, but I was very, you know, sheltered. I'm my mom's only child, and my mom was a military background, and you know, she's a smart woman, strong woman, and she's just she wants me to see things the way that she sees things. And sometimes, you know, that's how most of the time parents are. But it's like sometimes you have to give them some time and trust that, you know, your child will eventually do the right thing. If you believe in your child, they will eventually do what they tell you. And I definitely recommend it. I think that sometimes, you know, when you're 18, you don't know what you want to do. Sometimes you do, which is great. You know, I think that's amazing. But for me, I was just like, I love cameras. I love, you know, media, digital technology. I love that whole social media life. So the thing was just finding what I really wanted to do. You know, if you don't feel like you know what you want to do, it's okay. Yeah, like it's okay.
I remember telling my friends that, you know, my journey was different as well. And I remember telling them, like, they actually, my friend told me, you being here, like, shows us that it's okay. You know, we don't have all the answers, but we'll get there, you know, because we see your example. And so I think that's really cool. Everyone has a different story, a different journey. You're graduating after winter.
Yes, I'm graduating.
What's next? What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to working and creating. I don't really want to see it as work because I've done work and that's just not me. It doesn't bring me happiness. It doesn't bring me joy. You know, I want to look forward to going to a job, and that's why I went back to school, because I want to have the option to do that. I want to create. I want to, you know, just have fun with life. You know, we have a short life, and all my family has told me, like, you know, don't sweat the small stuff, because I'm very, you know, I'm very serious. I'm a very serious person sometimes. And
well, life gets the best of you, especially here in college.
It does. It really does. But you know how I am. I'm just so, you know, I have that mentality of just like structure. And sometimes it's hard for me to let go, you know? But I feel like school has given me that option to say, hey, I don't want to do this. I want to do this. And that's the amazing thing about being in communications, is that you are creating a form of communication, you know, for the world.
And that fits our media now today and how
Exactly.
it's ever changing.
It's so perfect. And I think it's just a perfect time for me to be in school, because this is a time where things are changing, where everything's digital and everything's media and everything. There's so many forms of communication, and I think it's amazing.
Yeah. It's exciting. It's exciting to be in this place where we're learning, and we're always going to learn. Tell me a little bit about your blog.
My blog. I love my blog.
I love it too.
I love it. So I fell in love with makeup when I started doing beauty pageants when I was 18. I used to see the makeup artists do my makeup, and I was always like so interested. I'm like, how come they have so many brushes? Like, what are all those things? Like, why do I have so much powder on my face? Like, are you going to remove it? Like, what's happening? And I was just so intrigued. And I finally decided, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to makeup school. I'm going to, you know, just learn, you know. I love, you know, learning things. So I decided to go to school. I went to Ruby's Makeup Academy, and I took an 11-week course on professional makeup. And I did it because I wanted to learn how to do my own makeup for television, because it's completely different. Like, your everyday makeup is not for TV. So I thought that was really amazing. I didn't expect to become a makeup artist or anything. I just did it to learn for myself, because there's a such thing as HD makeup. So I thought that was amazing, and that's originally why I got into it. And then I started learning there's just so much behind makeup. It's not just, makeup. It's the formulas. It's how they make things. It's the science behind it. It's how it makes people feel. It's creativity. It's art. It's amazing. And I just fell in love with everything about it. And I started an Instagram. I started doing my own makeup. Eventually, you know, I've been trying to start my YouTube channel, which hopefully I do soon. I will do soon. And then now I incorporated the writing side behind it. And it's just, this is my dream. Like, this is what I mean when I say that I want to create. It's like I'm taking photos, doing video, editing, doing the makeup, the creativity, the artistic side. And I have experience doing makeup for other people, and I see how happy they are, and, you know.
And you're an amazing artist.
And I'm just
You've
like,
done my makeup on occasion.
This is everything
if I
that I
can sit
want.
still through it, it's amazing.
Yeah. So
what
I'm like,
you can do.
What? This is what I want to do in life.
Yeah.
You know, it's so fun. I'm still learning how to express myself through writing, and that's been a little bit challenging, but I'm learning, and I think it's really, really cool. You know, I'm more like
Confident.
I'm more confident, and it's really cool how you can just express yourself in so many ways, through video, through writing, through cameras, through photos,
Through art.
Mm-hmm. It's everything. It's so cool.
I think Cal Poly Pomona does that. We're so just inclusive, and the hands-on learning, and the fact that you can take your own personal blog and then take your class where you're doing things for writing and apply the two.
Exactly.
It's getting you ready for the workforce, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the difference between this school and other schools, where you're actually working. You're working in school. You're building your resumes. You have something, tangible to walk out of here with, and I think that that's great. And that's what we need, because we're going to end up in the real world and we're going to be lost, but here at
Do you
Cal
feel
Poly,
prepared?
I do feel prepared. I definitely feel prepared. I didn't realize, I was like, wow, everything's so, like, I'm ready, and that's a great feeling to have. So, anything else?
I don't know. I'm thinking. What else can we add?
Oh, I know something you don't know about me. So my stepdad was in the Navy, and he got his pilot's license, and he had a flight school a couple years ago, and I actually learned how to fly an airplane.
Pandora's box here. You know.
So that's something a lot of people don't know about me. Like I said, I'm just like, okay, let's do it. I'm open to new things all the time. And he told me, he was like, oh, I want you to learn, this is really important. And I'm like, oh, whatever, because my stepdad is so,
In case you need to fly to cover an event and you don't have a pilot.
Fly, you know how to fly. So, yeah, I have experience as,
Wow.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I've done beauty pageants. I didn't do it, for, to win or anything. I just did it because, it takes you out of your comfort zone and you meet new people. I've met a lot of my best friends, or like really close friends there in beauty pageants, and you just it's just a different community. I know there's a lot of negative aspects to it, but it's like just with anything else, like if you focus on the negative stuff, it's not going to be a good experience. But if you just focus on what you're looking for, I got a lot of on-air experience. I got to be on TV. I got to meet friends, red carpets, networking people. And people always ask me, like, how did you get into that? Or how do you get those experiences? And I'm like, well, you just have to go out there and just say hi to
available.
someone.
Yeah, make connections.
I'm just like, oh, hi, how are you? My name is Daynie, whatever, And then who
People
knows?
ask
They're a producer.
you onto their project.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then they're like, oh, you do that? Oh, you know what? I'm working on this. Do you want to be part of the show? Or do you want to be part of this skit? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
You were in a music video?
I was in a couple random music videos that I never even believed that I would be in, because I'm not an actress.
And you looked amazing.
Thank you. I'm not an actress or anything, but like I said, it's like you have to say yes to all these opportunities, because you never know if they're ever going to come back.
So for a lot of high school students who are afraid to take that next step into college and do that, I think you've shown them that either whether you take time off if you need to, or whether you just jump into it, you're going to have amazing opportunities to be in places and it opens up a whole world for you to be an asset in the workforce, for you to do something that you actually like doing,
Exactly.
And I think that your story hopefully, has that encouragement.
I think the most important thing to think about is that even if you fail at something, it's better that you tried than you didn't.
Yeah.
And people used to always tell me that, adults used to always tell me that. And I'm like, no, but, it's scary, or, I don't want to fail. I don't want to look dumb, or,
It's okay to make mistakes.
But it's okay. That's part of life. That's part of life. And I feel like if I would have said no to all those opportunities, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I think that's the best advice anybody has ever given me. And I feel like that's why I've been able to do all these things, is because I say yes. And all you have to say is yes and hello to somebody. And opportunities will open up. And that's it.
Absolutely.
It's really simple, Sometimes we overthink things. Like me, I overthink everything. And I'm trying to work on that. It's not that serious, You
can have fun.
You can have fun. Yeah. You can have fun while, doing, being responsible. And like I said, life is short, and, you have to find your happiness.
Thank you, Daynie. Yeah. I'm here with Daynie Rivera. And we're excited to see what else. You want to tell everyone what your beauty blog name is?
My beauty blog, yes. It's beautiesformula.wordpress.com. So check it out. I talk a lot about skincare and a little bit about the science behind why you need to do things for your skin. What are the good things? What are the bad things? How the products that you use affect our world and the environment, and just a whole bunch of good stuff. So check it out when you get a chance.
I'm excited. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks
It
so
was
much.
fun.